You asked earlier in the show, how long did it take you to write the book?
Yeah.
It was 4 years.
Right.
But it was 20 years thinking about it. And definitely, I know for sure that this man's words had an impact.
So I think we should go kick his ass. Is he still alive?
I don't know. I don't know. If he is, perhaps,
let's look him up.
Yeah.
Let's look him up.
And actually, this is what a fellow writer told me. He said, you know where you can find some of the best books? Actually, let me ask you, Dave.
Sure.
Where can you find some of the best books?
The adult bookstores.
that's your perspective. And some of the best artistic work, you will find it in a cemetery.
In a cemetery?
That's correct.
Now, so you have to explain that. I mean, I realize the tombstones have something on them, but it's very quick reading.
But there's even better stuff underneath the tombstone. This is stuff that never was written. These are books that never were written by somebody that was thinking about writing a book and never wrote it.
Okay.
This is somebody that was thinking about writing a song and never wrote it.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Either they were discouraged, felt they couldn't do it, or just simply thought they didn't have the time to do it, or they were distracted with other things. They never got to do something that they were good at. And again, this is another thing that psychologists say or social scientists say. People tend to gravitate towards their point of weakness. That is, if you're good at something, you tend to do other stuff that you really aren't good at, and they don't explore what they're good at. And they say that try and find what you're good at and go for it. Make it pay you.
Yeah.
I have a very encouraging mom.
Great.
My mom is very encouraging. I'd say she's one of my best friends besides my wife. And she is a hard-working person. And she's still back in Africa, in Kenya.
Your mother?
My mother, that is.
Okay.
She's a very hard-working person. She always strove to make us be the best. She sent each one of her 8 children to the best possible schools. I had a very encouraging music teacher, and up to this day I still give him credit for a lot of what I am and have become.
Yeah.
This is a gentleman by the name Jeff Robinson. Actually, he was Peace Corps from the U.S., and he came there for a stint of 2 years. I had somebody that knew I could do well in a certain area and encouraged me to do it.
In your mind, do you think this is a good book?
I'm going to be honest, I think it is a good book.
Okay.
And
could it be better?
Well, certainly it could be better.
Okay.
But I just didn't want to keep rehashing.
You mentioned that there's going to be a second book. This is Son of Oracle. You haven't titled the second book. Do you think
I have a title in mind.
Oh, you do? Okay, but you're not going to say it. It's
I'm
a
not
suspense.
Yes, exactly.
It's called a hook. In radio, it's called a hook.
That's precisely it.
Do you think the second book will be better?
I would want for it to be better. And I think it'll be better because I've learned some things in the process of writing this book that I'm going to apply in that book. I did have help. There's a number of people, and I give credit to them in the book that went through it. One is a friend of mine called John Croft, and he reviewed the entire book and gave me some pointers.
Thank God it was an easy name. I thought it was going to be another name that no one could understand, pronounce, spell. John Croft. How easy could that be?
Beth Woodard, she works at the library. My sister, Ajema Kikuyu, gave me a lot of pointers, and that helped out a lot.
Good.
So I think I do have a good enough editorial panel.
If this book does not sell well on Amazon, will that discourage you?
It won't. I'm still going to go ahead and write the second and third book, and maybe more after that.
Good.
You asked me again, is this a good book? And I say it's a good book.
Okay.
And it's not in the cemetery. I should have probably split this into 2. Part 1 is just dealing with kind of like the Annunciation, the angel appearing to the Mary character, and then from there to the point that he is born. That is kind of part 1. And then part 2 of the book is, remember the wise men who came to see Jesus, the 3 wise men?
Yeah, the 3 of them, right.
Yeah. So part 2 starts with their story, where they came from, to the point that they come to this village where this Jesus character, whom I call Isa, was born.
So now the 3 wise men carried frankincense,
myrrh, and gold.
Okay, I heard in your book they carry the fried chicken, the watermelon, and grape soda.
Grape soda in that day and age?
I'm sorry. No, he's still laughing, though. That's a good sign. Z is still laughing.
I'm cool.
Would you write any other type of book? Could you develop beyond the characters that you put your heart into for like 20 years?
Okay, I might get in trouble with you for suggesting this, having known who you are in this short time. One of the books I'd write about is about marriage and relationships. I'd write a book on that issue. I'm pro-marriage.
How about the marketing? Now, obviously, you're on the show here to market the book.
Right.
How about the marketing in general? Like you said, you might have to hop on planes periodically, potentially.
Yeah.
You might have to get on David Letterman's show or Jay Leno's show.
Oh,
right?
tell them to invite me. I'd be happy to go.
Okay. And tell them not to steal my chicken joke, okay? if you meet them. I know David Letterman might steal that joke. It was that good a quality
you
joke.
got to watch that guy. You got to watch that Letterman guy.
That's right.
Yeah. It was published December the 3rd.
Okay.
So you can find it on Amazon, and it's now available on Amazon UK for UK listeners. I know this is a big show, so it'll be all over the world.
Yeah.
And also you can get
Keep thinking that.
I'll keep hoping that.
Okay.
You can also find it on Create Space, which is
Okay.
the publisher that I went with on my bookstore, iBookstore on Create Space.
Okay.
And then of course you'll find me with it in my car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Selling it out of the trunk of my car.
Are you really?
Yes.
Okay. Boy, that is self-promotion. Good. Okay.
Gotta do
Nothing
it.
wrong at all.
Gotta do it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do people reach you? You have a website? Because I got on and I looked at your website. How do people touch base with you on your website or email or things like that to connect with the book?
Yeah, to get a hold of me or to order the book and see some of the background about the book, just go to my website. It's www.sonoftheoracle.com. That is Son of the Oracle, all running together.com.
Did you write this book while traveling? Did you go? Because I think I read that you went back to Kenya, and were you there to write and get influenced and inspiration, or?
When I went back home, I didn't stay in the city. I went to my mother's place, my home. Should I say my home area?
Mm-hmm.
And
Of course, you knew she had chicken.
yeah,
That's one reason, right?
Mom's chicken is the best, by the way.
Okay, of course,
It's
it
the
is,
chicken
yeah.
that runs around all free range. Is that what they call it here? It's free range chicken.
Yeah.
Not coop. It eats whatever it eats.
So she actually cuts the heads off it.
Right.
Oh my God! There's a guy on.
I can't do it, but she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I did visit in 2006 just to reacquaint myself with the areas and get a bit of background for some of the places that I wasn't sure about.
Well, again, Z, thanks for coming on the show. Let's get you to say your whole name again so the audience knows, because I'll butcher it, like I said. Even though I have the book in front of me and I can read it, but I'm not going to try.
Yeah, my name is Ziugwa Kikuyu. It's Tshigwa, and the last name is Kikuyu. Ziugwa Kikuyu at sonoftheoracle.com. Again, Ziugwa at sonoftheoracle.com. And
Great.
Ziugwa is spelled Tshigwa.
Okay, great. And thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, no problem. I enjoyed it, Dave.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.